What's up, everybody? It's Chat and Draw After Dark. The 8 p.m. hour, we get a little sultry. The cap is on backwards, and I'm Mike Watson. I am the publisher of Short Fuse Media Group, the founder of Freestyle Comics, one half of the good, the bad, and the nerdy, the most enthusiastic person in comics, also going by the alias of the Super Mad Brother, and your host today in every episode of Chat and Draw, Mike Watson in the building. All right. Yeah. Clap it up. All right, we're going to have a good time on this extra sultry episode in the 8 p.m. hour because we've got a nice slew of guests on here. We're promoting the Short Fuse Media Group return to the Kickstarter brand because we always deliver, and that's what we do. We're back in the building. I've got some great people on here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and somebody you might be familiar with. He's been on the show once or twice. Let's get him on up here.
Here comes a new challenger.
What's good?
Sean Mac Live. Okay,
what's good?
There we go. All right. Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
Funny thing though. I am not a new challenger. I'm not a new challenger.
All right, so we got Sean here. We're going to be talking it up. But the man of the day, the man of the hour, leading the charge on this Kickstarter for a series you might know called American Dreams. Let's bring him out here.
Here comes a new challenger.
Hey, guys.
Daniel, how you doing? With his Wizard World mug in the building he has.
This is from the same con we met at almost over a year ago.
Okay, all right. I feel like we all have on special shirts. Let's get a little swag on. I'm wearing my Ace Blade shirt. Let me see.
Hey, you got an Ace Blade shirt.
Hey,
Ace Blade shirt. I'm gonna get an
Ace Blade. Then always my trusty hotshot hat.
Okay.
All right. What swag shirt you got on, Mr. Mac?
I help bring alignment to indie comics shirt. You know what I mean? I got, we gonna rock out a little bit.
Okay.
I always got the D hat. No matter where I'm at, I'm always gonna have the D hat. Georgia, Philly, no matter what, New York, wherever I'm at, California, it's always gonna be that D hat. That's home, baby.
All right, Mr. Daniel, what swag shirt is you rocking today?
I got the Short Fuse shirt.
Regular people making comics. I'm a big fan of that shirt. Absolutely love it. All right, so today we're talking about a little something. We got a little, your Kickstarter dropped today, Daniel.
Yep.
Why don't you tell everybody about your Kickstarter? What are we kickstarting?
We're kickstarting American Dreams, issues 1 through 3, mainly 3. Like as 1 and 2, you can already, because we're kickstarting American Dreams, issues 1 through 3, which is a superhero book. It's based in 1900s New York City. A young immigrant from the Lower East Side gets caught up in a mad science experiment being performed by Thomas Edison. And when that goes horribly wrong, he gains superpowers. And this is the first 3 issues. So you can see the first adventures of our hero. That makes sense.
Awesome. So we're rocking 3 issues of this book. You just gave us a quick elevator pitch for it. Glad I did not have to ask you for that. And right now, we're going to share the screen, just giving a little look at that Kickstarter. We're talking American Dreams, issues 1 through 3. As you can see, that's my account. I am a backer. I have backed this Kickstarter. Let's see here. We're rocking at $592 opening day. Salvo fired off. We have a goal of 2,000 with 25 backers in the building. 29 days left to go. And we're looking at American Dreams here, 1 through 3. All right, so Daniel, we're on Chat and Draw. And on Chat and Draw, we chat and I draw. This will be a special edition episode as your character will be getting some colors thrown on here as well. We're going to be drawing Liberty. Sean is piped in here because Sean has co-hosted before and led the way. As I'm going to be doing some colors on here, I might be a little distracted and Sean might have to keep the conversation going for us or whatnot. But Daniel, why don't you tell us about what's your favorite tier? What's your favorite reward on this? Everybody can jump on.
Good. That's a good question. Because we got a lot of tiers. Well, I would say maybe the best. My favorite would be maybe getting the signed set of all the issues. It's because you get all 3. Plus, because it's short fuse thing, you get all 3 issues as well in digital format.
That's the one I got. I'm always about more books. And you got that one here. Yeah, that's actually the one right here that's highlighted. American Dreams issues 1 through 3 in PDF format, and then your choice of 3 digital comics from the Short Fuse Media catalog. And our catalog is rather large. If you can see Sean Mack back there. Actually, let me highlight Sean Mack so you can see.
Did he just cut everybody off? Did y'all hear him? Y'all heard that? I guess he wanted to take over the show because he just cut everybody off. But it sounds like, Bundy's trying to show my background. We got a lot of books. And luckily, the awesome host that I am, I can jump in at any moment when Mike take himself out of the show like he's done plenty of times before, and I can just take over. Because this is what we do. Short fuse, we always deliver, and I can take over the show. Now that I finally have control of Chat and Draw. Yeah, now that I have it. Oh, all right. I didn't know he was going to let. I didn't know he was going to get carried away. I didn't know he was going to come back in. So I was about to keep y'all entertained. We was going to make the show excellent. I wasn't going to draw nothing, but I can chat all day.
All right, let me get to some of these comments real quick. So the Kickstarter has been shared in the comments on Twitch and on Facebook. We got the long link and we got the short link there. It is clicking down there at the bottom. So what I always ask people to do with Kickstarters, I always say, hey, support. And there's several ways you can support. Way number 1, you can pledge. Find a tier that you like, donate to that, get that pledge, get whatever you want, and donate your money to it. Or if you are tight for funds, you can donate $1 and add that to the Kickstarter. Every dollar helps. But if you're hard up and you just don't have the money, you're in between paychecks or whatnot, I understand that because I have been there and I've been on that ramen meal, so I get it. All you can do is share this Kickstarter, advocate for this Kickstarter, put it on your network because maybe there's somebody in your circle that may like this type of thing that we have going on here. Sharing is just as important as the pledges because we want as many people as possible to find out about American Dreams. Haley, okay, Haley sees it on Twitch now. It is playing on Twitch. J-Man, what's up, man? You're here every day, man. I love your support. Thank you so much. Danny J. Quick is in the building. Yeah, man, that T-shirt is slick. I got to get the next one, though. Now we need an episode that is just Sean Mack live. Hey, they vying for you to take over, man.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, the day that I take over Chat and Draw, I'm not drawing out a thing. It's not happening. But it will be one of the most electrifying shows. No, I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna be an awesome show, though, man. When I do it, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna transition Chat and Draw back to Sean Mack Live, and then Sean Mack Live can transition back to Chat and Draw when Michael return. Maybe I bring somebody else on the draw. Hey, maybe get David Jackson. Shout out to David Jackson. Woo! You didn't see
maybe
that?
get LaShawn Coven to come on there and draw because she be drawing fantastic.
LaShawn's my fantastic editor on this book, so love. Kudos to her for helping me with this.
All right, I'm about to dive into this.
I'm not taking over. I said I'd be on the show. I did not. I heard you try and slide in and say that I could host the show just in case you was. That's not what I said I was going to do. I didn't say that at all. I said what I said is I come on to support and to talk about some things. But I do have some things that I do want to talk about. So I will start off with this just to put some things in perspective. First and foremost, welcome to Chat and Draw. Welcome to the show. See, this is me getting my host on, Michael. You like this? This is me getting my host. So welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? Sean Mack live version. Chat and Draw. You know what we do. Here's the thing. This is the return of a Short Fuse IP back to Kickstarter. We haven't been on Kickstarter for over a year. We had not one but two campaigns that we were a little backed up on. I made the announcement back when I was on the Indie Hundreds with Crystal O'Rourke. Is it last week? Maybe week before last? I think it was last week. That we are all caught up, you know. So, and I wanted to make that known that what I wanted to do, the whole purpose of us taking the step away from Kickstarter, because we had some dilemmas that we had to work our way through. But we wanted to get all of our books caught up before we returned to Kickstarter, and that's what we did. We got all our books caught up. But this particular campaign, I want to make that perfectly clear. This is Daniel's campaign. This isn't a Short Fuse Kickstarter. This is Daniel's campaign. You know, we are here as support. We're here to support one of our creators who's taking the reins on his own. He's going to run with this thing and make it do what it do. And, you know, we think that's awesome. So just making it clear that when we come back, we're gonna come back to support, and we come back strong. But this is the relaunch, and we're taking it back to what we did before. One of the things that people liked about Short Fuse, and where we coined the phrase that we always delivered, even though it has multiple meanings, what we did was we focused on making sure that we delivered immediately. And with this campaign, we're going right back to that sentiment. So what that means is on Kickstarters, what typically happens is it takes 14 to 15 business days after the campaign ends for the funds to be released, and for the funds to be released to the creators, so the creators can then in turn finish off their project, whether it's printing or whatever. We're not waiting for that. The day after this campaign ends, one day after the campaign ends, the very next day, we will be shipping out rewards, guaranteed. So we're going back to that aesthetic, and we'll be doing that on all of our campaigns moving forward. And I'm announcing that here right now, so everybody knows, and they can quote it later, and everybody can say it came out of his mouth. This is what he said. You goddamn right. This is exactly what I said. Campaigns will be. Really? Did he really hit me with the spoiler, bros? Did he hit me with the spoiler, bros? That's how you feel? That's Mike breaking the monotony. But yeah, we're gonna be right back to delivering the campaign, delivering the rewards immediately after the campaign ends, because, you know, we always deliver, and that's what makes it fun. It makes it fun. The books are ready to go, and we just gonna have some fun with it. So, with all that being out the way, Daniel,
Yes.
got some questions for you. I really don't have no questions, but I'm about to shoot off the hip. Mike likes when I say I got some questions. He think I'm gonna run this show. I'm not running this show. It's not happening. But I got some questions for you, so we're just gonna make it do what it do. So, why should anybody be interested in reading American Dreams?
If you like superheroes, you'll love this book. If you like maniacal scenery chewing villains, you'll like this book. If you like history, alternate history, real history, you like this, you'll definitely love this book. And if you're just a fan of comics, you'll definitely enjoy it as well. It's also just a fun, wild ride through American history at a certain time, which is mainly not that far off from our own. It may be a century, it may be far off, you know, time-wise, but a lot of the same things that happened back in 1900 we're still going through today in 2020.
Okay, yeah, I saw you mention that a little bit. I don't know if there was a chat that we were in, maybe it was in our group chat, or maybe it was somewhere else, but I saw you mention that before, and what you said. And Mike, so you know, I'm not taking over your show. I'm not hosting. You're not getting away with this. But listen, one of the things that I saw you say, Dan, was that we're going through similar things right now. Now, with a lot of the things that's going on right now, it's revolving around a lot of Black issues going on right now. How does American Dreams correlate to that? And let's put full disclaimer so nobody can say anything crazy. We understand that American Dreams, for the majority, does not have Black members in the cast. There's a couple people, but not a lot. So what we're going to say is we know that it's more so Caucasian. And I know Jewish has a lot to do with it, because I know you're Jewish, and I know it has a lot to do with your history. So how would you say that correlates to right now? Because you say it's a lot of things from historical.
Well, there's a lot of tension between ethnic groups in general, because there are a whole bunch of ethnic gangs basically fighting each other for whatever little scrap of territory they could get their hands on. Huge economic inequality, immense corruption. It also was an election year in 1900, and it was a bonkers one too. So, There's a lot of parallels that are going on. Also, there was the whole immigration debate that was still going on. And our main character is an immigrant. He's a Russian Jewish immigrant. He's also technically a refugee. His family had to flee a pogrom.
Okay.
So a lot of the same things are happening in 2020, and they're happening still back in 1900 in this alternate history. So it's kind of interesting to see. I like to. There's a great line: "History doesn't repeat, but it sure as hell rhymes."
History doesn't repeat, but it sure as hell rhymes. I'm getting a T-shirt made that says that. That's gonna be the new American Dream shirt. We're gonna say history doesn't repeat as hell, but it sure as hell rhymes. We're gonna roll with that one.
That should have been the main shirt for the campaign right now.
Right. Yeah.
Where was you at? Where was you at, Daniel?
And LaShawn also pointed out there's a lot of great action in this book.
Okay. Well, books with S. So
because we don't release one book. We go for multiples.
Right. So this full series thing, and a lot of people that's gonna jump in. And actually, you can see from the pledges already, a lot of people that's jumping in. They're not jumping in to just get one book. They jumping in to get more than one book. So it's great. So all right. So with that being the case, tell me what made you come up with the villain for American Dreams and Thomas Edison's role in American Dreams?
Well, Edison's one of 3 villains who are all historical people, and they're all playing their own little parts, 2 more than others. Edison is playing his part because we all know Edison was a really greedy, selfish person in history. He's someone who took work from his employees and passed it off his own. I mean, he was a great inventor in his own right, but he wasn't above, stealing people's work and claiming it as his own intellectual property. That's why Tesla eventually left Edison and went off to be with Westinghouse and other things. But in a way, it's his greed and want for his name to be immortalized. In many ways, it helps propel the original origins of the plot forward. They have J.P. Morgan, who's the big banker. He's also a political heavyweight in New York society. He hasn't much to do yet, but he's definitely, helping pull some of the strings.
Okay, so hold on. So real quick. So we got Thomas Edison in his story. We got J.P. Morgan in his story.
And my favorite of this triumvirate, Aleister Crowley.
And Aleister Crowley.
The infamous English arcanist, mountain climber, and just full-round nut bar as he is in this comic.
Hey, I could be off. Isn't Aleister Crowley one of the guys that's credited for creating the Illuminati?
I don't know. I know he created his own branch of magic / religion called Thelema. Oh. He might. I know he. I do know he's part of all those old secret society stuff, which does play someone into play. But he is running a cult in this book, and you can see who he's worshiping in issue 1, technically.
Okay, so you took historical figures and placed them in the landscape that consisted of having a superhero as their opposition. What made you come up with that kind of concept? Well,
originally this was just going to be Edison and J.P. Morgan because they represent both the money, interests of New York City elite and also mad science. But somewhere around issue 2, I'm like, I have to explain some of the more supernatural parts of the origin. And my brain went to Crowley, who himself was an immigrant. At some point, he'd travel all over the place. Though I made him more of an immigrant in this story. So he's a mirror image in many ways to liberty with magic versus physical might. And it just makes it interesting triumvirate because now you have 3 ways of liberty can be attacked. J.P. Morgan can attack him with the press, with politics, and with money. Edison can put up a challenge with just mad science because now he's going to be, wanting to control things, and he's going to come up with, as many strange gadgets as he can. And then finally you have Crowley, who has magic, which makes him more of a threat than Edison and J.P. Morgan directly. But without each of the 3 villains play off each other's weaknesses and strengths and can really, and if they ever unite, they're going to propose a huge threat in to liberty in general, because even if they act separately, if they somewhat coordinate, it's not going to be a fun time for him.
Okay. I want to get to a few of these comments. LaShawn's in here shouting out support. Chuck saying he'll edit this live and that would kill the feed. Yeah, because what I got going right now may drop the feed once or twice. J-Man says, I haven't read American Dreams, but as you had just said that he's an immigrant that came to America and got superpowers from an experiment. I really like this story, especially being a fourth generation Irish American. My great-great-grandparents were immigrants that came to this country to have a better life for themselves and for future generations of my family. Irish people were dying from the blight virus that infected the potato crops that killed over 1 million people from starvation. And I think he says more, but I think it's just it won't.
It gets cut off, yeah. And it's true. I think there's a couple memorials to the Irish potato famine here in New York around the what's called Council Clinton, named after DeWitt Clinton, the governor, not President or Senator Clinton, because we had a guy named Clinton long before they were living here. But because the area around Battery Park is where you get on the boats for Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island to tour. There's memorials to immigrants as well as, the Irish potato famine immigrants as well, and immigrants of all kinds.
Right. Moana is in the building. What's up, sis? Yes, she says.
Yeah. That's how you say it. You're supposed to say yes.
Yes.
I've seen it a couple times.
LaShawn says, don't forget, if you like action, you'll love this book too. Daniel and her have talked about future characters of color appearing in this book as well. Jenny J. Quick is saying he likes that. I don't know what in particular.
Probably the motto.
Oh, the motto. Haley says that is a great motto, saying it could also be used for Hamilton. So yeah, we need to get this on the shirt.
Yeah. And speaking of Hamilton, you have no idea how excited to see it, next week when it comes on Disney Plus.
Yes, my daughter is excited for it as well.
It's the only way I can see it. My parents saw it before it even hit Broadway because there's this major nonprofit theater called the Public Theater in New York City in Greenwich Village, and they put it on there before they transferred it to Broadway. And my parents saw it there because they're members of the public.
But hold on. But you know what'll make Hamilton dope is if they stuck the character of Liberty dead smack in the middle of it rapping. Booyah! I just told y'all how to make Hamilton dope, extra dope. Put Liberty in there, rapping, dropping Jewish bombs. What's up?
Jewish bombs.
What's up?
Those are top cocktails.
That's all I'm saying.
And he's in the building. He says, "What's up, guys?" And he's a big fan of American Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Danny got a couple. So it was I can't remember the guy's name. Maybe Danny remembers. It was one guy that bought the issues of American Dreams. He bought every single issue that was available because he collected things that related to Thomas Edison and things like that. Tell me, Danny, have you had any other experiences like that where people were just fans of that era and they just were collectors and found it in your book?
Because Harry Houdini is a major supporting character, and on the good guy side, he apparently a couple Houdini sites have contacted me to talk about the book, as well as one person literally contacted me to find out. I think he contacted you as well, Sean, about where Houdini shows up in the books. So he's creating a small library of list of every appearance of Houdini in fiction.
That's dope. So Houdini would be another character that appears in the series, right?
Right. He's in every issue of Arc 1. He's the only historical character that's in every issue of Arc 1. I think he's appearing because he's a major supporting character. Other support, there's Emma Goldman, who's the infamous anarchist and social crusader, is another character. And there's a few I plan to bring in down the line as well.
Okay, that's funny because J-Man just chimed in with a question. He wrote, "Question: Any other famous figures from the past would you like to put in future books?" And I guess that kind of touches on a little bit. Do you have a laundry list of characters you'd like to just put into the book?
There's several. Two I definitely know I want to bring in are Nikola Tesla, because he's mentioned several times in issue 1, and governor at the time Theodore Roosevelt, because he was still governor of New York at the time, he was commissioner of police. He became governor, and in 1900, because he kept clashing with the head of the New York legislature, even though they were the same party, Roosevelt was a progressive, and the speaker of the New York legislature was not. They kept butting heads. So Teddy Roosevelt in 1900 was the vice presidency candidacy of the Republican Party in 1900. So that's going to be interesting when he gets more into the action.
Okay.
And I have a couple ideas how to bring him in as well.
All right, that's dope.
Moana asks, isn't Aleister Crowley a character on Supernatural?
There's a character called Crowley. I don't know if he's implied to be the same historical figure or just named after him. I'm not quite sure. I don't watch Supernatural. So I just know it from pop culture osmosis.
You know, I thought that'd be a show right up your alley.
I've seen like the first 3 seasons, but I saw them when I was in college. So I'd have to go back and start all over again.
Okay. LaShawn Colvin chimed in. She wrote, what are your feelings on possibly incorporating strong female characters in American Dreams, or is that even something you want to do?
I do want to do it because I feel like there's a lot of female characters who deserve it, both historically and fictional, who deserve a bigger shot. I feel that the character of Jake's sister is starting on that route, but I'm not the best judge because, you know, I'm biased. I'm the writer. But I will say another character that's coming up soon is Nellie Bly, the famous journalist.
Okay.
So that's going to help bring in some fun female characters.
All right. So on this, I know we launched this Kickstarter. You launched this Kickstarter a little later than anticipated. Kickstarter was actually supposed to launch maybe even a couple weeks ago, maybe. And we were going to partner up with Catherine Calamia, Like Father, Like Daughter, who recently stepped into the reins on our own projects and took over on Like Father, Like Daughter. And shouts out to Kat. She still got like 50 hours on a campaign. Make sure you pledge to that campaign if you haven't. One of the things that you want to do is keep in mind that if you pledge to this campaign and you pledge to that campaign, you get not one, but you get 2 crossover prints featuring the characters from American Dreams and the characters from Like Father, Like Daughter. So that's another perk that you guys can get by jumping in and helping out. Because again, the whole purpose of this thing is to help spread more awareness. And like a lot of you guys seem to like what you're hearing about the book, and check the book out. I mean, dope. The artwork is dope. The artwork is phenomenally dope. If you haven't seen it, in the previews, Dodi Eka is a dope artist. He always puts out quality work. Is one of the and I remember Paige Alfred millions of times have said that this book, American Dreams, is one of the best looking indie comics he's ever seen. You know, again, I always say opinions on artwork is subjective. I'm not going to debate that one because I like the book as well. So, but hey, that's something to keep in mind if you like dope artwork, because somebody said that, you know, what are some of the things that, you know, will make people want to be interested in the book? And you never touched on the artwork being dope. How could you not talk about a comic book and not talk about the fact that the artwork is dope, man? You're tripping. That's what we're here for. That's why I take over the show. I don't even need nobody else to help. I can just talk and do the show by myself because this is what we're doing. We're going to make it dope. Anyway, I'm gonna let Mike chime in.
The art is fantastic. I keep hearing such good things about the art from readers and from people who are from reading the book or people just previewing the books at conventions. And I'm so grateful to have a great art team with Dodi on pencils, Tebby on inks, and Warney on colors, and Matt Bowers doing the lettering as well. And I also Netho Diaz doing the variant covers as well as the main cover for issue 1. And Tommy Shelton being our main cover colorist for every one of the art colors. And I just feel very proud to have it and thankful to have such a great art team.
Hey, so you got Netho Diaz, the artist on G.I. Joe, doing your covers. How did that make you feel?
Really excited and really proud to have such a nice. He's a great pleasure to work with, and he's such an amazing artist. So it's a really great feeling to have him on board doing the variants. And he's already done a variant for the entire arc, so he's ready to. So you'll see those coming down the pipe soon.
Awesome. Hey, LaShawn, if you're still watching, check your messages. I sent you something. And just real quick, because you don't know what's going to happen on tonight's episode. We've never done an episode this late, and I said it's Chat and Draw After Dark. So you never know who's going to just, I don't know.
Here comes a new challenger.
I swear I'm going to have a heart attack right now.
You never know who's gonna pop in. Danny J. Quick, everybody. Hey, Dan, thanks for the shirt.
What's going on? Oh, nice. Yeah. I'm glad you got it. I saw you opening that up earlier, man. You was cracking me up.
All right, so it's official. The beef is on now. You got the head of team. You got the head of team close to the chest, and the head of team. Spoiler alert on one show. What's going on, man?
That's in the middle. This could be interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Jim
What's
Ross,
up, Daniel? How you doing, man?
Hey, what Jim Ross used to say on WWE? Business is about to pick up.
That's a good one.
What's good, Danny?
Hey, I only came for one reason. And
Oh,
y'all know
my
what
goodness.
it is.
No.
What's that reason?
What's the
I have
reason?
recently read American Dreams #1. I've recently read American Dreams #1 and #2, and I got some questions.
Danny,
I got some questions.
hold on. Daniel,
for my man Daniel Calvin.
Daniel, do not fall for anything that the head of team spoiler. They are a terrorist group. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for his tricks. I see he got Morgan in the comments talking about what the blood clot. No, people in North Carolina don't even talk like that. So
Hey.
no, don't do it. Don't fall into the trap. That's what I'm saying.
I got some questions. I got some questions for the creator of an amazing comic because I read the first 2 issues and I'm ready for the 3rd one. But I have a serious question that I gotta ask Mr. Calvin.
Mhm.
So, Jake Gold, right?
Yes.
Your man Jake Gold. I believe you already told people that how he got his powers, right? You already
Right.
talked about that.
Yes.
Can you tell me did Jake Gold die in the first issue?
No. I can definitely say no. He did not
I
die.
can't hear Daniel. I can't even hear him.
You can't hear him? You might
Testing,
have to
1, 2,
come back
3.
in.
Did I mute myself? I'm sorry.
Do you deafen yourself?
We can hear
Can y'all
you.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You might need to go out and come back in.
Hold on. I'm gonna jump out and jump back in because I can't hear Daniel. Hold on.
Yo, Morgan, you gonna leave Carla alone, man. Y'all gonna leave her alone.
Poor Carla. This is literally becoming the meme of the group.
It's terrible. Dane J. Quick, you got some spoiler questions. Moana McConnell says bullets. That was Lumberjacks talking to Sean Mack. We might have another special appearance happening tonight live as we're getting this drawing done.
There might be a point where I have to transfer to the living room because I have my charger parked over there. So I have a little setup for it, but I might have like a weird signal at that point because Wi-Fi on the first floor gets a little wonky.
All right,
But yeah,
cool.
but this has answered Danny's question while he's not here. No, Jake Gold is not dead.
Well, I think what he was getting to is like, I think, and he can correct us if I'm wrong when he gets back on. Haley does not hate Carla. Thank you, Haley. Oh, yes. She's coming back. But I think he was getting at when he got his powers, I think he's thinking that he might have died in that transition of getting the powers and been brought back.
If you mean like 5 seconds hard stop because you get hit by a bunch of lightning, possibly. If you want to get that specific. But even that's like, maybe not.
No. He's getting that specific. It's Danny J. Quick, man. Head of team spoiler alert. That's how specific he's getting. If he thinks he's got a spoiler, if he thinks he's thought of something that somebody else hasn't thought of, even the dang writer, he's spoiling it.
It's a national terrorist group. I mean, I don't know why people think I'm joking. It's a national terrorist group called Team Spoiler Alert. That's what it is. They want to terrorize indie comics, and you guys fall into the trap. Fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap. It's a trap. But they gotta stay on Star Wars. It's a trap. You know, we do with the tentacles.
Remember when they came out with the ad for that whole Star Wars CGI shorts thing with Abu Akbar, little tiny Animal Akbar? It's a trap. It's a wrap. What the?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And Morgan say that was lumberjacks talking to Sean Mack. Nah, they don't talk like that in New Orleans either. They don't talk like that in New Orleans.
I see y'all tried to silence me.
Oh my goodness, no.
Oh no, I know the whole shadowy figure kind of infamous kind of looking.
Y'all tried to silence me. Now I had to go to the basement.
Mm.
Sean and Daniel sent the goons out to my house to try to disband Team Spoiler Alert, but I won't let it happen.
I mean,
J-Man wants to know if you thought about creating other superhero or supervillains in this book, Daniel.
Yes, and there is one coming. I can definitely say there's one coming in issue 4. Who's a big challenge. Emphasis on.
did you see Danny J. Quick get all excited like you was about to say something? You almost joined the team. I just
That's
saw it.
all I'm saying.
He almost let it go.
He almost let it go. He got too excited. You see it? He got so excited. He was like, just bust at the seams and say it all. Just this was going on. And Danny was just about to sit back and just do it, twiddle his hands like, yes. Yeah.
He almost let it go. I heard it. I heard it in his voice.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But to answer your question, Danny, from earlier, no, he did not die.
Okay. All right. So then this Spirit of America that I've run into. Tell me about that character.
She's literally the embodiment of America. Like she's basically the entity Columbia, which is supposed to be like the female representation of America and America's values, America's potential, America's dreams, for lack of a better word. And she's basically the embodiment, the spirit of America, same way like Uncle Sam would be, except she's more powerful. And she is, because she has to do a lot of work, as you can see in issue 2, to help set things going and prevent, some realities from going completely wonky. Because let's say Edison's little machine was a little more potent than he thought.
That's what I was going to ask. So in the first issue, when Jake got his powers, I thought that he got it from the accident. I thought he got it from the machine. So did he get his powers from the machine, or did he get it from the Spirit of America?
Hold on before you say something. Hold on. We do know that the Kickstarter is for issues 1 through 3, right? If he
I see, y'all know how I do.
just because
If issue 1 and 2 are already out, they're fair game.
And so hold on. So on that, but again, there are people that are being exposed to American Dreams right now because it's not on the Short Fuse website right now. It's only available on the Kickstarter right now. So there's certain people that have no clue what you're talking about
right now.
Watching the show.
Hey.
And Daniel, you are falling into the trap of Team Spoiler Alert. And I'm not going to allow it to happen. It's not gonna happen.
John, I'm bringing you some backup.
Here comes a new challenger.
Editor of the Bookless Shop,
You can
Hope
be-
is in the building.
Hello.
Oh, it is on now.
Hey, sure.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, first I want to apologize. Mike kind of did not give me a heads up on this. And the girl don't have on no clothes, so unless you want to see all my ass out, I can't be on camera. So, I just want to make that known.
Chat and Draw about to get X-rated.
I said it's after dark.
After dark.
I said it gets saucy after dark.
Saucy.
Exactly. How's it going, Mike? You doing a good job.
Thank you.
Spectacular.
Trying to get it in. All right, so
That looks good, man. He got that All Might feel.
Yeah, he does.
yeah. That's what I was going for.
I mean, no, I'm gonna just be real. He like about to blow somebody's shit out. That's what he looked like. Like somebody about to get this shit blew out. That's what I'm saying. This chat and draw after dark. Y'all know I ain't got no problem getting on camera and cussing. I think I proved that last week. You about to blow some shit out. That
That's
was
it.
That was good, man.
You know, Mike keeps pushing me to watch My Hero Academia. I'm planning on watching it, but I still have to finish watching Avatar: The Last Airbender first.
But you do that first. You do that first. That's more important.
so. J-Man chimed in the comments. He wrote, "How about a future crossover time travel of Hot Shot and Ace Blade and American Dreams?"
Dang,
I'm all the way down.
You trying to put the whole kitchen sink together?
Yeah.
I quote Robert Downey Jr. and go, maybe. You never know.
Moana said we a mess.
We are. And Morgan tripping. I haven't even had no vodka today. So, you know, I don't know what you're talking about, Morgan.
Look, this is a good chunk of the Short Fuse family team on here right now.
Hey, it is.
Yeah, it is. What's going on, Danny?
How you doing, LaShawn? It's good to see. Well, not see you,
With Danny.
but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've established that Daniel, you're Daniel, and Danny is Danny.
Yeah, I think we actually had to figure that out, I think, starting at Baltimore last year.
yeah.
We were like, we didn't want to go like, oh, Danny? Yes. It doesn't help that all my dad's side of the family keeps calling me Danny. So it's a relative. The term I have just relatives say.
But the funny thing is gonna be when Danny Cooper's in the same room. You don't know what y'all gonna do.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, so the funny part, remember at one point we had Danny Cooper, we had Dan Calvin, we got Danny J. Quick, and we had Dan Sin. What was the last name? Sin or Shin? I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Shout out to Dan Sin with Thunder Zone. I think they got a Kickstarter going too. Shout out to them with the Thunder Zone. Good dudes. But I don't know how to pronounce his last name regardless. So, you know, but that was another Dan. That was like 4 Dans in one slot. And I think we was going to bring on another Dan. And I said, no, you can't come aboard because we got too many Dans. So, it's not happening.
And I thought it was bad when I was in middle school. We had 3 Daniels in one class.
Not about to do it. Yeah, Morgan say he's suspicious, Sean. I don't know what you're suspicious of. Oh, because he's thinking I'm drinking vodka. This is not vodka. I wouldn't be drinking vodka. Well, I would be drinking vodka with a straw. I'm not gonna lie. But I really would. Because yeah.
Well, Sean, you know,
Morgan? I'm sipping.
Sean, you know you ain't nothing but an alcoholic.
I am, but that's okay. Because I'm okay. I like me enough for all of it. So, you know, I'm okay with myself.
I like me enough for all of it.
But I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. And Danny J. Quick, notice I actually stopped drinking. I stopped drinking.
What?
Yeah. Yay, that's yay.
I wasn't gonna spoil it. I was gonna keep it to myself.
Yeah, clap for your boy. Clap for your boy. If y'all notice, y'all haven't seen any vodka posts or anything. I haven't posted anything about vodka.
When did you stop drinking?
It's a couple weeks now.
Okay, well that's good. You know, a couple of weeks is nice.
Yeah, I'm not
like you lost a little weight too in that time.
No, I've been working out. I put on.
So when you say you stopped drinking, have you stopped drinking? Like, do you drink wine?
No, I don't. No, I don't drink anything.
So you don't drink anything? No beer, no anything.
No, I never drank. I'm vodka. I was a vodka guy. Vodka is what I drink. Period. I think Danny's shaking his head. It was vodka. That's what hashtag vodka time is what it was all about.
If I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink for the sole purpose of being drunk.
That's how you supposed to do it, baby.
Oh my God.
When I met Michael, I don't know if they knew. I'm pretty sure they did. Especially by the 3rd day, I'm pretty sure they did. When I met Michael Watson, we was at Wizard World Chicago. By day 3, I think that's when they started to realize I had vodka in the cup. I think that's the day they realized it. They realized that the vodka was real. It was a real thing, and I get it in. And my cup runneth over. It kept runneth over that whole day, and they was like, "Well, I know," and I have my own.
Well, damn, like, well, how was you replenishing the cup?
Hey, because I'm smart. See, I don't. When I go to when I go to new places, the first stop I stop is the liquor store because I'm not going to no bars or anything like that. But see, y'all got me talking alcoholics. So this like that what the alcoholic can be used to do. Now I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that. We chilling. I ain't even got no.
Well, that leads to my next question. So Daniel, would you say that Liberty drinks? And if he does, what would be his choice of drink?
Y'all about to mess with the whole audience right now. He gonna piss off somebody that's a penny drinker, somebody that's a vodka drinker, somebody that rum drinker.
What was the drinking legal age? Technically in 1900. I assume he drinks probably beer because he does. We do show him in issue 1 with a growler of beer, so that's definitely. So he does drink alcohol. Oh.
Okay, so he drinks alcohol.
Yeah, because as I said, you see him. Because you see him. I actually define like Joe Doty like these pictures of growlers of beer, which no one uses anymore except for like select places here in New York where you can go to a place and they will
around that time beer was like really popular anyway, right?
Beer was popular. I know gin was a big thing in London, though I don't know at that point. I know in the early 19th century gin was like the big drink in London. In New York, it was probably beer, rum, ales of various kinds, things like that.
Interesting.
Hey, Andy Shaggy, Cordy had a question. He wrote, "You showed some of the hate towards the Irish immigrants. Are you going to show some of the oppression that was going on to African and Asian cultures?"
There is a definite plan to do so.
That's such a good question.
There is a plan. I have a couple of ideas I have already for our
Who asked that question again, Sean?
Andy Shaggy Cordy.
All right, Andy. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because that will be definitely brought up. I think it's referred to somewhat obliquely in issue 1, but I do want to show it more, to be quite honest, as we get into arc 2, because I have a couple ideas for arc 2.
Honestly, Daniel, I think that going forward, that's something that we really going to have to kind of, talk about, because it's part of the history. It's part of the culture, and especially with what's going on right now with the whole revolution, I think your book could benefit from that, with delving into those issues. You understand?
Yeah, I mean, I already have 2 ideas for arc 2, but we can do it like a whole story conference and figure that out so we can start development of that.
Well, don't worry, because after your Kickstarter, me and you gonna have a nice talk.
Sean said that. Sean said that at the beginning of the show.
Hey, Mike. Hey, and didn't I say earlier when LaShawn hear about this, LaShawn gonna have something? Didn't I say that earlier?
You did.
All right, I was like,
but what's important right now, Daniel, is to make sure your Kickstarter is a complete success. So that's the focus right now.
Right.
Man, you better get you some vodka. That's what I'm saying. After that is over, you use some vodka.
Great question for you, Daniel.
Yes.
Daniel, so we know American dreams can fly, right? We've seen, everybody can see from the pictures that the man has the power of flight, right? Can you give us his full power set, or does he even know what his full powers are yet?
He's still experimenting in ways to figure it out. We know the strength, we know the flight. He shows off a couple new stuff in issue 3, and he's definitely testing it in issue 2. So I'm not going to spill the full set because you got to read it. Mm-hmm.
So there's one more question I got to ask, but this one might be too spoilery. So if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. Okay?
You don't have to ask it.
I do have to ask it because I'm me. So, Daniel, yes, I've read the first 2 comics. Okay, there is something that is a big trope in a lot of comics that you reveal in the 2nd issue. Okay, right on page 2 of book 2. Okay. Is that something? Do you know what I'm talking about? when
big-
when
Hold on, let me check my
when
own copy.
when
Did he run?
Danny J. Quick is out of control.
Right, and he run to get the book. Did he seriously run to go get the book?
He ran and got the book. Sean has been warning Daniel all episode not to fall for the trap. And Danny J. Quick has been in his head like, I'm going to get him to fall for the trap. I'm going to get him. And this man went and got the book.
Meticulous
No comment.
national terrorist group is what I'm trying to tell you.
No comment.
Hey.
No spoiler.
I want you to notice LaShawn ain't saying nothing, Danny. She's
Hey,
going to have a conversation with you after this episode.
Yep.
hey,
And she
Listen,
gonna
it's
read.
not-
She best believe. She gonna
it's not my fault that it's not my fault that I love
I
comics.
just want to make sure that specifically he was referring. It's like saying, "Don't down all the time." I was like, I want to make sure what he's specifically referring to in issue 2 to have the
Issue 2.
covered here. And I'm like,
Issue 2,
Go ahead.
page 2,
I said no comment already.
the first panel.
No comment.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you probably got an entry over there like I dare you say something. Probably in his mental.
Hey,
I
LaShawn,
dare you say something.
LaShawn texted Daniel on his phone. Said, I dare you to say something.
I dare you. Do you see him tighten up?
I didn't have my phone on me. My phone's upstairs still, but as soon as I said, "Wait a second, what he's referring to." No comment. Not touching it. No.
My joke still has weight.
You don't need his phone. He got a computer screen right in front of him. It's popping up on his screen.
Oh my God, y'all so crazy.
I actually don't have a text set up on my screen. I've been meaning to do that because I don't
All
have my
right.
phone.
Daniel, I gotta go in a second, but who's the Carla of American Dream?
No comment.
There's got to be a character that everybody hates in American Dreams, just like everybody hates Carla from Hot Shot.
Everybody don't hate Carla.
Carla.
That is the one thing I will agree with Danny J. Quick on. You hate Carla.
That's
Alright,
a
let's
good question.
proceed.
That's a good question, Daniel.
You mean, I know the character I read that I was one of those I love to hate characters is one of the villains. That's all I'll say.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
say this villain's actually a delight to write, but it's one of those love to hate characters.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, I think I did enough damage. It's
All right,
past
ladies
my
and gentlemen.
bedtime. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yep, we now have the exit of the head of team. Spoiler alert. Mr. Danny J. Quick, round of applause. God damn it.
Oh, wait.
God damn it.
Let's go. Hold up. I got him. Where's that? Oh, I didn't own this one.
Oh, yeah,
Never
now all of a sudden you want to do some stuff.
It's like,
I've been doing some stuff.
Everyone, do everything. Okay.
Now you want to do some stuff. You do some
Oh,
stuff
there
when
we
I'm talking. That was horrible. It was so late, so delayed.
They were so amped.
And are you eating? Are you eating live on the show? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, it's a late show, man. I couldn't take it no more. Food was feeling good.
Mike,
Yeah.
zoom in.
What you want?
Zoom in a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go up just slightly.
Mhm.
Okay, now look to your right. You need to add just a little bit. I know you haven't really gotten there, but I just want to point that out.
Where I'm at. Go ahead.
Right to the right where it kind of looked like he got a toupee on. You just need to add either some edges or a sideburn or something because it looked like his hair just sitting on top of his head. So
Where, right here?
yes.
Okay.
All right.
I got you.
But other than
I'm
that,
really good at spotting things in art that I created a whole long convo.
She's an editor. Editors do that. That's what editor. That's what the editor does.
Yeah.
For anybody that don't know that's what editor do, that's what editor do. Just throw that out there.
Yeah.
They catch stuff.
That they do. She caught something last time she was on the show.
She was on the show. I missed that show. I missed
She
the
was
show.
she got me together in the comments.
Oh, she got you together.
Mhm.
You make it sound.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm not mad. I appreciate it.
I'm saying when the queen come through and put you in your place, you better, you know what I mean? So get red. Don't get red. Like, hey, J-Man wrote what I was thinking. He wrote like Trump. The toupee look like Trump. You got to wear the queen look like Trump right there.
Coming to a New York Democrat heart. Ooh.
Hey, I don't know what it is, but it do look like Trump. Bad hair Trump. Yep, that would, I agree 100%. Not that this is a political discussion, but yeah, the toupee action, yeah, look a little Trump.
Well, Daniel,
I'm like a Muslim around Trump about to blow somebody's shit out. I'm gonna say that again.
Daniel, I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you consider your book a political book?
In some ways, yes, but not overtly. Not like too overtly, because people know I can go like crazy with the politics, as people can see when I go on a tirade on my Facebook. But I won't say it's like partisan politics. It's more like looking at issues that still happen today and were happening then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still an election year in 1900, but technically, being because he's an immigrant, he doesn't have a political party of choice because he certainly can't vote at the time. But you never know because it is the era of Tammany Hall still in 1900, so you never know what might happen.
Right. Well, the reason why I asked because, it just goes back to, okay, well, let me ask you this next question. With it being a period piece, do you try to be as authentic as possible? Or, and when I say that, I mean, for example, dealing with race and the issues of what was going on during that time with race, even sexuality, do you feel that you're being authentic as possible during that time, or are you just trying to focus more so on liberty and the issue of the book?
I'm focusing right now more on liberty, but future issues I would like to explore more things about that.
For example, okay, this leads to my next question. Would you say Liberty, what's his views on race and Black people?
I think he's more open-minded because he's a guy who kind of grew up, running around in not the best situation. So he's a little more open-minded compared to, say, the, upper 700 of New York, which are the wealthiest families. He might have his prejudices, but I think he'd be much more open-minded compared to several more of his contemporaries.
Okay.
That's my opinion, though. Because
I think. What you mean? You show opinion. You the writer. You the creator. You gotta not.
You don't know because it's the character you're supposed to.
I thought that too. I was like, the only opinion that matters.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel might have had a situation like I had Stephanie on here last week, and Stephanie said her character literally, as she was writing the character, right? As she was writing the character literally told her, "This is not the path for me," and Stephanie had to rewrite the story to make the character work. So maybe Liberty sits here and he's in Daniel's ear, like, I don't know about this move, homie. You might have to switch it up a little bit for me.
I think, though, based on certain actions he's done, I don't think he's racist. But his issue is more with survival.
You don't think he's racist, or he's not racist?
He's not racist. He's not racist.
Okay.
And his issue is like he'll be more. He's more concerned is versus like one of the other ethnic gangs in New York City, but that's purely one of those whole territorial disputes kind of things.
Oh shit, we got more comments over here.
And Mike Eaton. Hey, Mike, look like. Hey, when he eating, he looking like he all in, like he watching the show himself. He ain't even. How you looking like you watching the show and not part of the show? I'm through.
I like Eddie's question. I like Eddie's question though about asking about the pastrami sandwich because there's two ways he can do it. Because remember, again, poor boy probably doesn't have much access to pastrami on rye. But here's the thing: it's situational. If he's by himself, or with his siblings, or with Houdini, he'll have the cheese, the mustard, and kosher pickle and rye bread. However, if he's with his parents or his grandfather, because they keep kosher, no cheese.
Okay.
Hey, Danny J. Quick said he was about to take his pledge back if you said he was racist, Daniel.
Hey,
You be quick on the draw on that one. We in tough times right now, baby. Quick on the draw on that one, man. Quick on the draw. I mean, we know, but hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
But I think Daniel, like we talked about, going forward, we have to address those issues. You can't run from it and be in a period during that time where it was a hot mess.
Yeah, agreed.
Morgan said Lumberjacks was about to ride out. Lumberjacks was about to find a time portal and come looking for your boy Liberty with the axe.
Morgan, don't worry, boo. I'm gonna make sure I'll be on.
It's like I see something so down, please hang on my head.
Hey, LaShawn said it's not happening on her watch.
But yeah, so I don't have food for thought.
Yeah, yeah, man, gotta be quick on the draw on that one. Gotta be quick
I
on the draw.
really do.
Quick on the draw. So yeah, just quick on the draw, man. Just hey man, learning experience, man. It's a learning experience. Hey, with Morgan with the big eyeballs too, when you said it, he like, what?
Okay. Okay, so Andy that's about back again about pastrami sandwiches, about the whole what's the difference between cheese and no cheese and whatnot, because so I'll do a quick explanation about kosher laws. In Judaism, you can't mix meat and dairy if you're observant. It's one of those laws that go back to the Torah and everything. So you can't. Oh, they're firing off fireworks already. So
Is that what it sounds like in New York?
it's fireworks. It's fireworks. People have been launching fireworks since like 2 Sundays ago.
That's what you be
All around the
posting.
neighborhood. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, I see you be posting about that. Don't start talking about that right now. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just go through it.
I just make the pause. I feel like a thing. So cheese on a pastrami sandwich. If he was eating with his more observant relatives, he wouldn't do. The mustard's okay because that's not dairy. Yeah, Jay, I've seen Gangs of New York, but that's 40 plus years before American Dream. So 5 Points is still around. Bill the Butcher would still be long dead at this point. He would not appear in American Dream.
Oh shoot, Daniel done went $612 while we was on the air. You done got another backer up in this bad boy.
Yep, you done hit 30% too. Because you know me, I'm Sean by the numbers, Mac.
By the numbers, Matt.
30%. 30%. No profit tango. The answer, what Daniel was just referencing was J-Man asked the question if you've seen the movie Gangs in New York, the
Yeah,
Irish Gangs were ruthless, and could you see your character ever deal with the likes of a character from that movie, especially one named the Butcher, who is based on a real person? So that's what Daniel was responding.
Yeah, but he's referring to Gangs of New York. Now, Gangs of New York, there's also a really good book if you want to take a look at early to late mid 19th century New York City. It's a little American Dream is a little bit beyond the point of that book because the events of the Gangs of New York film take place during the draft riots during the Civil War. So this would be long after. So you would not ever be running into Bill the Butcher, but several of the tensions that happened in that time period in 1863, I think, are still happening in 1900. You still have Tammany Hall being a corrupt political machine, still running things in New York for the most part. You still have ethnic gangs, Irish gangs, Italian gangs, German gangs, Jewish gangs. So it's still pretty much it's not as bad as that time period. It's just different. It's not the same characters from that same time period would appear in 1900. Just because a lot of them would have been probably deceased at that point. Because Bill the Butcher died even before. Historically, Bill the Butcher died even before the draft riots, and yet they somehow shoved him into the time period for the movie. The long story.
Look, I don't care where they got him from. The Butcher is my second favorite villain all time in any medium. He was the homie.
What?
Bill the Butcher.
The Butcher,
His
second all-time favorite villain for me.
How?
Daniel Day-Lewis was a very good performance.
I mean, I get it. Daniel Day-Lewis was one of the greatest actors of all time. But hold on, how is he the second?
No. He's my second. I don't care about nobody else's. He's my second.
How is he your second? That don't even make sense. There's so many awesome villains.
Dude,
I mean,
he was awesome.
yeah.
I love a respectful villain.
Okay, so he's not killing. He's not touching Darth Vader, hands down.
Dude, Darth Vader ain't even on my list.
All right, Mike. So what I'm about to do is I'm gonna say goodnight. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna bid y'all adieu. I'm gonna salute because I cannot be on the show with a guy that said Darth Vader is not even on the list. It's just not gonna happen. Like
he's not on mine.
Here, I'm gonna let him sit in for me. Here, he do the rest of the show.
I love him. Let's talk about.
I'm always like going Jewish gangs. Yeah, there were Jewish gangs, and I actually referred to an infamous Jewish gang Godfather in issue 3, even though he's not at that point yet. One of the earliest mafias in American history was Murder Inc., which was the Jewish mafia.
Hey, Daniel has done his homework on this joint.
So there's a lot of if you read like Harpo Marx's autobiography, Harpo Speaks, because he grew up around the same time around the same time in 1900. He refers to a lot of, even up because he lived further up in what's called Yorkville in Manhattan. And even then there you had German gangs versus Jewish gangs versus Irish gangs versus Italian gangs and so on and Polish gangs and Hungarian gangs and Austrian gangs because that's a big area for them too. So it's one of those really time periods where everyone is basically fighting everyone else for, let's admittedly, bullshit reasons.
Dang, how much research did you do? How much?
I still do research. It's like it's something like I look at well, this character would appear around the same time, and would they roll in like Manhattan, and I'd say they were stuck in like Brooklyn all the time. And I'm like, let me see, and I'll look it up, and I look at their ages, and if they would have been at this point in time. Some of them I do fudge around the stories where they were a little bit, but if I want to make them make sense that they would have been there around that age at that time.
Well, for the initial story arc, about how many hours of research would you say on average you put into this initial story arc?
I have no idea. It's a lot of research because one of the things that it's like I can go into huge, like 2 or 3 hour long Wikipedia dives just on Lower Side. And then on
Daniel, as far as your research goes, where did you get most of your research from?
Well, I started
what
with the Wikipedia entry, and then because they have all the sources at the bottom, I go through all the web sources.
Okay.
So that helps. That they have a bibliography, so they can back up what they're saying. I also have a couple biographies of Houdini, which helps. And I have the actual book, Gangs of New York, which I double checked to see which would have been happening at what time period. And that's why I said the stuff that happens in Gangs of New York probably will not happen in American Dreams because that takes place a good 40, 50 years beforehand.
Okay. And some of the places or the locations in your book, do you use accurate locations, right? Like real
locations based on what New York would have been like at the time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So where did you get did you get like a map online or something?
There's a couple of maps. Like I have to look through the history of neighborhoods to see what was coordinated to what around the same time. which is hard because even in New York today, neighborhood boundaries are very fluid, and there's and everyone has a different idea where the neighborhood starts and ends. There's like an overall agreement, but they'll disagree where certain points are. For example, in Manhattan, everyone will agree certain neighborhoods end at the river, either be the East River or the Hudson River. But then you have to decide what's the northern boundary, what's the southern boundary, what's the east or west boundary, and that's when you have the giant debate between people who live there, people who make the official definitions for the city, and then realtors, because realtors will always change things up so they can make a little extra money. Saying, oh, this is not Hell's Kitchen, it's Clinton's.
So you're just you're. Oh, he done. We with Darth Vader now.
He was serious.
He done.
For real?
We are with Darth Vader officially now.
Dun,
Sean,
dun,
you need to
dun.
have your ass. If you can hear me, you need to have your ass booked. Now, how the hell you gonna leave? I'm sorry, Daniel. Go ahead.
It's really funny because I actually have a Darth Vader by Jim Lee hanging in my hallway that I won like so long ago.
I saw that. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I won it a couple years ago on he was doing a Father's Day stream, and I'm on his Twitch stream and everything, and like I didn't even hear my name called. I saw my name flashing, like because everyone was tagging me. I'm like, it was like, and but yeah, so it's really hard sometimes to pin down the exact neighborhoods. I mean, I have to toy around a bit with 5 points. The 5 points was still there somewhat at the time, but at the time it also became what is now like where all the courthouses are. So it's an interesting juxtaposition where you have this giant slum next to the courthouse. So Eddie has a good question. Because do I have a definite end for the series, or do I have a soft end? I don't have a definite end. I have an end for the arc.
LT.
I have an end for the arc.
What
I
the
don't
heck?
have an end yet.
Is Danny J Quick typing one letter at a time for multiverse?
Oy.
He says one more spoiler before I go. Yo, Matt, Danny J Quick is out of control.
He really is. He's come out with power. Matt, I tell you. Kevin to Blackgate. Not Blackgate.
When I
South
started,
Island.
Andy says, when I started the Manor, I was 5 strips in when I wrote the end of the series. Do you have a definitive end for the series, or do you have a soft end like American Dream ends up, you roll him into a different book?
I have a couple ideas, but right now I'm just concentrating on end of an arc, end of an arc, end of an arc.
How many arcs do you have planned?
Right now I'm still working on arc 2. I have a couple longer range ideas, but I have at least 2 or 3 ideas for arc 2.
Listen, I don't understand this. How can y'all sit and be in a conversation with Michael Watson after he specifically said Darth Vader wasn't even in the list? The hell is wrong with y'all? Just shut the whole show down immediately. Next, you gonna say Agent Smith not on the list? What?
Agent Smith is my number 1.
Man, shut up.
Agent Smith is my number 1.
How's Agent Smith your number 1?
Because he's incredible.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm not doing this with you, man. Because no, it's not right, man. How could you Darth Vader? What? Thanos? What? Are you serious?
I'm
Thanos?
good.
What? Your number 2 is the what? Shut up. Shut up. And I don't need my ass whooped. Darth Vader deserved to be here staring at Michael Watson's face so he know what the real is.
Oh my God.
That toy doesn't change a thing.
Did you just
Andy has a good question, by the way.
the toy?
Andy has a good question, though, about when we see the start of World War I in the series. If we do, it's not for a long time. That's 1914 is when America enters World War I. So that's not for a long time when we enter era.
Well, if you was to do something like that, how do you think you would do it? Would Liberty be? What side would he fight on?
Well, because he's American, he would fight for the Americans at that point.
Or would he even like want a war? Would he like be the one trying to stop them from fighting? Like, how would he? How do
I
you think he
think,
would do
given
it?
the nature of the events that led up to World War One, that part's off his control, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But I will say it's not the wisest move for him to get involved. That's all I'll say.
And why do you say that?
I can't say that without being too spoilery.
Oh, okay. Well, then don't say it.
Writers that inspire me that aren't comic book writers. A lot of playwrights lately. A lot of Broadway, their assistant composers, screenwriters. Sorry, it's like I have the names in my head. I just can't pull them out. It's one of those weird conundrums. That's a good question. I have to think about that long and hard. I did. There's several other, like Garth Nix. I remember enjoying a lot. The late Brian Jakes, who wrote Redwall, which was a great series when I was a kid. One of the first book series I ever really loved as a kid was Lloyd Alexander's Prydain Chronicles, which Disney adapted kind of poorly into the Black Cauldron cartoon. So it's like it's less writers and what has more like the books, the films, the shows. Like that's kind of all wrapped into my influences. So it's hard for me to specifically pull out the direct names and their influences are on me. That's a good question. I have to go back and find. Oh, this book inspired me. Oh, that's the writer. This book inspired me. That's the writer. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, the artwork is looking dope. Big
Really
Mike,
is.
I hosted as much as I could until you made that enormously idiotic comment about Darth Vader. So beyond that, I'm gonna have to check out. It's been a pleasure talking to y'all. Again, if you haven't backed the campaign, check out the campaign. I'm gonna let these guys keep going. Deshaun Mack, I'm gonna sign off. Y'all have a good one.
Dang.
All right.
That's how I get down. That's how I get down, Mike.
Dang.
Yeah, that's how I do. Yeah, I mean,
I see.
yeah, that's how I do. Because
I
you
guess since Sean's signing off, I guess I'll go ahead and let Daniel take over.
Yep.
You good? I'm almost done anyway.
I was down anyway. You
But
know?
it is looking really good.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Peace.
Later.
Oh, that is a good question. Jake is very much a Superman archetype, but I know that he knows I'm a big Batman fan. Will there be a Batman archetype appear? Spoilers. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. No, in all honesty, I'm still thinking on it. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
It's one of those things where I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, and Paul Limjenko, I hope I'm not butchering the last name, has a question for you, Mike. Artists that inspire you that aren't comic book artists. Example, photographers, cinematographers, modern artists, etc.
I actually don't have anybody in specific. I go to the art museum and stuff. And I just look up art. I'm not really attached to anybody's name. Plus, I'm terrible with names. So I just have like folders on my desktop that I just grab artwork and I pull it into the stuff that I see that I like or whatnot. But I'm mainly influenced by artists that are really good at rendering scenery, human anatomy, and things like that. But a lot of them that I do know by name are comic book artists who just happen to be phenomenal actual artists in general that can really draw the human figure, draw buildings and backgrounds and things like that I just really enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I spent a lot of time as a kid at the Brooklyn Museum because when I lived until I was 8 years old, eight and a half, we lived down the block from there. So I spent a lot of time there because they have a really good ancient Egypt exhibit in that museum, and I spent a lot of time in there. So that's a good one. I have a couple favorite paintings, a couple things.
Oh, it's coming to life.
It looks really great.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Wanted to, I really wanted to showcase the power of liberty, getting ready to knock somebody cold out.
I have a couple ideas of who we might be knocking out, but not saying who.
Oh, of course not. Don't say. We don't. All the spoiler alerts
Yeah,
has left.
yeah. Is he going? You sure he isn't the place bugged? It's like, look on the table.
No, we're good. I mean, Danny J. Quick may pop back in here. He's still got access to the link.
Uh-oh. What else? What else can I talk about the?
All right, so for those that are still watching or just tuned in or whatnot, cool. Thanks, Mike. Still thinking on it, except what I'm saying. This Kickstarter, what are you hoping to accomplish with this Kickstarter? We know you want to reach your goal of $2,000. You want to make the money to help you produce the book or whatnot, but are there any other goals besides this, like expanding your audience, increasing your reach, and things like that? What else are you trying to accomplish?
Well, I want to get to a wider audience. I want more people to read the book and enjoy it and love it, and come back for the next installment.
Why isn't that? No wonder. I'm like, why isn't that covering up? Like, that should be some shadow right there.
I like Warren's comment. Yeah, Liberty's big for 1900 and any other era.
All right, let's see here. I don't have that much more left to do, just like his hair. So I get this little bit of this rim lighting or highlight on his skin.
So Andy asked, how many story arcs do I have planned for the future? I have a list of ideas. I don't know how many of them will go into production or not. I still have to debate them and discuss them with LaShawn, see which directions we want to go. Whether some of these ideas might be pushed back in favor of something else, or others might be moved forward in favor of something else. There's a couple big historical moments I do want to get to eventually. Eventually, I want to get to.
What do we got? Yeah, where's the? I need the. Yeah, we'll put it on here. Let me get that blonde, the yellow there.
So it will be a while before I probably get through. So I have a whole master list of ideas. But as I said, some things might change, some things might not. But there is at least one arc I do want to get to in the future. That's one of those moments in time in history I have to touch.
So why don't you tell us something that does that, as long as it's not too spoiling. What's your personal favorite thing about your book?
Just playing with alternate history and having superheroes in that time period, and just having a different take on the superhero genre. Because we've seen superheroes in other milieus, but they always seem to stop at the golden age, like 1930 something.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't know how many comics actually bring their characters to 1900 or even further back. I know of one mainstream comic that might does, and it's an alternate universe. And still mainly takes place in the 1930s, except for the couple flashbacks.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think makes your comic different from other books?
The time period, for what, as I've just said, and it's really exploring issues that happen today and yesteryear through a nice superheroic lens, and just a fun action-packed time. But I think it's the history and using it as kind of like a foundation. I think that really helps the book.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really because the time period kind of informs the story as well as the characters and their reactions to it. And it's just really interesting to just play with things that are happening today and were happening still 120 years ago.
So, what made you decide, like, yeah, I'm gonna make my comic book a time book. We're gonna make it happen in this era. What made you come to that decision?
I was listening to the soundtrack of a show called Ragtime, which takes place a few years beyond. And I was like kind of in a daze, like kind of like a nap, like napping to music. And I was like, what if superheroes were in that time period? And then that's when the light bulb went, bing! It's a good show. It's a good book too. That novel, but it's like one of those weird things where you're listening to something.
I'm sorry. I just saw Morgan's comment. Good God, this dude is Diesel.
Yeah, it's like one of those remotes. Like you're listening to a piece of music that's like in a setting of similar, in like around the same. Like listening to a piece of music or seeing something, and you go, "Wait, they've never done a certain genre in the same time period."
Mm-hmm.
They've done novels, they've done musicals, they've done movies, they've done all this stuff, but they've never really done a big superhero epic or story in the same time period. And how that would affect things.
Right, okay.
How things could be explored for that kind of approach. So I will say that for 1900, Liberty is pretty big.
Hey, he out here. All that extra work he be doing.
Yeah. Well, it's also the time. Actually, if I recall correctly, bodybuilding is actually getting its real start around 1900. If I recall correctly, I could be wrong.
Let's see here. No. Let's. So, Daniel, how long have you actually been working in comics?
I've been doing fanfic since 2010, and I kind of morphed into me doing my own scripts, like my own ideas, and then I started working with a friend on a project, and then while that was happening, I was working on this, and we were at that other publisher, and one of the things that came around was like, so Daniel, we're waiting on this thing to go on. Do you have anything else? And I have a few ideas. Let me put, and I basically open up my trunk of, concepts. And I had the first draft of this written under a different title. And they're like, let's do this one, but you need to change the title. Which I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so that became, so that's how American Dreams got going. I have a few other ideas I'm working on. But I won't say what, because A, they haven't been officially approved yet, and B, it's, spoilers. But I kind of have a few ideas. I have a whole idea sheet of just things I want to eventually get to. It's at least 2 or 3 pages typed of like rough notes and concepts and just like vague notions. And I have notes like, this is good, might not work, this is good. And I have like some breakdowns. I also have sheets of ideas where it's just focusing on one concept from that sheet, and I'm expanding upon it as well. And they may or may not be Liberty related, but that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I have a couple interesting ideas I've been working on.
Okay, all right. Well, ideas are always good. Now, do you have a set number of comics you want to do with this book, or are you just going as you go?
Going as I go. It's one of those books where it's like, I don't know where I see an ending yet. I just want to, write it and still go along for the ride and see where my own writing takes me.
When did you know you wanted to be a comic writer?
I was in college because I originally wanted to be like a film director.
Mhm.
And then like in 2010, we had a huge blizzard. And around the time I found out about Comixology, so that's kind of sped it up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm bored. I'm just trapped in basically a blizzard. I still have, several weeks before I have to go back to college because Buffalo got hit even worse than Brooklyn did. Let me write a film script. Let me write a Superman film script. Coincidentally, I named it Man of Steel. This was before the Zack Snyder film was ever announced.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote a Batman film, and then I was writing fan fiction, and then someone said, you should start writing your own stuff. And by the time, I really want to start writing for comics. Start writing more fanfic just to practice. Like those became less fanfic and more fan comic scripts. And so I practiced, learning format as well.
Okay.
And at that point, it's like it just became, a snowball effect. It's like I really want to be in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things that just. And I like to say, joke to myself. I say, you're still a film director. You just do it in 22 pages instead of with a giant crew and film and special effects. I also don't have a whole bunch of studio executives screaming at you. You better change that right now in post-production or else.
Sorry, I get distracted when I get close to the end.
No worries. Does Mike or Short Fuse have Instagram? Yes, they do. As Andy just posted in the comments. Your Instagrams.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Andy. Andy's a helpful guy. And every time I say, yeah, man, I'm almost finished, and then I look and I'm like, yeah, I forgot about this part though.
Oh, Andy just posted a great question. 1908, the Tunguska event happens in Russia. There's more than one conspiracy theory that someone was potentially reproduced one of Tesla's experiments. Are the events in New York City a precursor to the Tunguska experiment? No comment.
I guess that means no comment.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, Andy. All right, so here we are with the replay. Liberty for American Dreams for Daniel Calvin for his Kickstarter, which is going currently right there at the bottom. Please pledge and add your support. Help him make this happen. While we've been live, looks like we got 2 or 3 pledges. Refreshing it right now. This was super fun, and actually, this is one of my I did a pinup of All Might like this, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I want to revisit this pose, and I think this one is much better than when I drew All Might. This was super fun. I like trying to, I don't know, like I've drawn Liberty a few different times. I think this is like the 4th time that I've drawn them.
At least third to my knowledge.
I did the commission. He was no, I did the commission.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
on Chat and Draw last season. I drew him again in the big collabo piece. I drew him for the shirt that we're doing for the Kickstarter. And then now, so this is the 5th time I've drawn him. But I want to always try to elevate it, and I think this is my favorite one that I've drawn of Liberty. And this is yours to have, Daniel. So I wouldn't be opposed to you if you wanted to add this to your Kickstarter as a stretch goal reward or whatnot.
We do have to discuss. We do have to sit down with Sean and discuss some ideas for those, because I haven't quite figured those out yet. I have ideas, but we can always do yay, nay, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in for this extra After Dark, saucy, long episode of us coloring Liberty. Dan, you're at $642 with 27 backers. Look like you got 3 pledges while we were doing this live. To all those that participated in that, thank you very much. Everybody that tuned in today with questions and everything, comments, questions, joking around, chilling with us, thank you for being on the show. Please give Daniel's Kickstarter a share at the very least. Give him a share. Let other people know about this or whatnot. If you have $1 you can spare, donate that. If you have more, great. Let's help this kiddo get to his goal of 2,000 and beyond, because I know he's going to be discussing with Sean, LaShawn, and I about stretch goals and things that he's going to want to do. So let's make those things happen. Get this book into your hands. Shout out to Denny J. Quick. Shout out to Sean Mack and LaShawn Colvin for coming on to the show tonight. This was a blast. I've had a ton of fun. Hope you did too, Daniel.
Yeah, I did.
Awesome. Well, I will get this up on Google Drive and get this out to you, and then you can do whatever you want with it. I'm probably gonna post a video on my TikTok, because I'm on TikTok now. All right. Again, that Kickstarter link is flashing at the bottom of the screen. It's in the comments. Also, be sure to, Daniel, get in the comments, because people were asking you stuff, and I think we missed a couple of them. But
so
get in those comments.
Yeah, so Andy, no comment, BS, yes or no? I hadn't thought about it.
Andy says, Daniel, I'll be willing to do a sketch card to Liberty. I could print them up for cheap at work as a stretch goal. Hit me up if you're interested. Hit him up.
We will.
Matter of fact, do that right now, because you're about to be off the show, because I'm closing it out. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. This is a great episode. We shall check you later.